Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an MCQ question from the IB Chemistry Paper 1 HL of May 2021. I'd explained this in my previous video where I'm going to be going through the questions of this paper one by one because it's the most latest paper that we have. It's the paper I was going to do. I didn't end up doing it because exams got canceled, but I just want to cover the content of this paper as well, because in my opinion, this paper is quite easy. It's not very difficult as compared to some of the other papers. So it's very doable. And I want to make sure that all of you who are preparing for your exams have access to answers from the latest papers that IB is putting out. So you get an idea of how the questions are. So even though this question is from an HL paper, it requires concepts which are SL topics from SL topics. So this question is both in the SL paper and the HL paper. And that happens in IB exams. You get some questions which are from HL and you get some questions which are from SL in the HL paper. In the SL paper, you get questions which are only from SL topics. So anyways, let's get on to this question. What is it asking us to do? So it's asked us, what is the enthalpy change in joules when 5 grams of water is heated from 10 degrees to 18 degrees Celsius? The specific heat capacity of water is 4.18 kilojoules, right? Now, something that IB does is they give you these kind of questions in paper one, right? Like these calculation questions. And looking at it, you might get a bit scared because you're like, I don't have a calculator and how am I supposed to do this? But you should always remember that in such questions, IB will not give you a question which is not possible for you to do without a calculator. So this is possible for you to do without a calculator. And how do you do that? Well, obviously, the first thing is that you don't have to calculate anything. You just have to give the equation. You don't have to give the final answer. But in this, what equation do you use to get to the final answer, right? Because you have so many equations to calculate enthalpy change. Which one do you use? And the first and most biggest giveaway that you should get as to what equation you should use is when they give you the specific heat capacity of water. That means that you have to use this equation. Q is equal to M times C times delta T. This is, I think, the first equation that we learn in topic 5, which is thermodynamics. And this is the equation that you have to use for this particular question. Now, what does each of these things in the equation stand for? Because I absolutely hate equations because that involves math and I dislike maths. But really, when you understand what each part of the equation is, it's nothing but a few words combined together, right? That's what an equation is. So what is this? So Q is enthalpy change. Oops, sorry, that's the wrong spelling. And I'm just going to put enthalpy C for enthalpy change, is equal to M, which is mass. So mass of whatever thing you are changing the enthalpy of. So that we know it's water. We've been told that we have 5 grams of water and grams. So mass in this equation is given in grams. So 5 times C. C is nothing but the specific heat capacity. And that is 4.18. They've already given it to us, 4.18. Times delta T. What is delta T? Delta T is basically change in temperature. And we can see the temperature has been changed from 10 degrees to 8 degrees. So that's an 8-degree change. Now, you must be thinking, wait a minute. Do I have to change the temperature from degrees to Kelvin? Because we do that in some equations. Do we have to do that here? And the answer is absolutely not. You don't need to do this. That's why C and D are wrong. D is wrong for other reasons as well. But one of the reasons these two options are wrong is because they convert from Kelvin into from degrees into Kelvin, which is absolutely unnecessary. We don't need to do that in this equation. Simply for the reason that change in temperature, it doesn't matter if it's in Kelvin or degrees for this particular equation. So you can leave it however it is. You don't need to change it. Thus, that leaves us with the only correct answer, which is A. And that's pretty simple, very simple question, right? But it can get confusing under exam conditions when, you are under stress and then you have so many equations to remember and suddenly this comes up and you're like, wait, do I need to convert from Kelvin into degrees for this equation. And hopefully I've cleared that for you. In this equation, you don't need to convert it. It's change in temperature. It doesn't matter. You can leave it in degrees. And thus the correct answer is A. Hopefully this video has helped you. It's a quick video. Nothing very complicated in this. It's just simple taking from the question and putting it into the answer. That's it. Take care of yourselves. Any questions, please let me know. My DMs are always open to answer questions or provide support. And that's it. Thank you so much and take care of yourselves. Goodbye.